Hello guys, how are you? I hope everybody's fine and welcome in this new video. Sorry, it's been a long time I haven't done a video. In fact, my videos are just tricks and some useful informations which can be shared with you. Otherwise, the other issues may be found in other channels. This is in one side. In the other side, the fact is that I can't record every day. I have a lot of issues with recording. The most one is the noise here. My shop is located on a market in which there's a lot of shops doing repairs and other shops for dealing in laptops and desktops and other electronic gadgets and so on. So it's a market of electronics, generally electronics, and a lot of activity in this market during the day, which makes it impossible to record long videos. Okay, we have here what I call a tricky issue, or let's call it picky or tricky. It doesn't matter. You understand what I mean. So this Dell was booked for no power, and I have already done all the troubleshooting, and I am just doing this video to show you this tricky issue with this laptop, which most of us encounter. This issue is encountered a lot by technicians, but it depends on how we deal with this issue. So when I have done the when I have troubleshooted the board, I noticed that there's no short, no corrosion, no water damage, nothing. No job has done before on this laptop. I am the first one opening it. I only noticed that the keyboard has been maybe changed. Maybe the keyboard was changed because I have noticed that the screws of the keyboard has been touched by the screwdriver. Otherwise, nothing can be noticed. No change. Everything is in place. Even the stickers are in place, and there's no obvious work on this board before. So when checking's done, I have come to the result that everything is okay. 19 volt present, 3 volt standby, 3 volt and 5 volt are present. So normally the following logical step will be to hard reset the BIOS. So as you can see here, let's plug the power. Let's use this genuine adapter. The genuine adapter. Okay, so no power. You may hear the click of the press of the power button when pressed. Let's make it next to the mic. So no power. So I said that the next logical step will be to hard reset the CMOS battery, the BIOS, by shorting the CMOS battery plus and minus of the CMOS battery connector. Let's unplug the battery and let's short the plus and minus of the CMOS battery connector for a while. You have to wait for some time, at least minimum 15 seconds or even 30 seconds to be sure that it's done properly. Meanwhile, let me fire the multimeter to check the CMOS battery voltage. Let's connect my meter. Here it is, so that will be fine now with the reset. Let's check the voltage of the CMOS battery. Already done that. It shows 2.87 2.878, yes. So let's plug it back. We need to plug it back after hard resetting to check if the if we make any change on the BIOS, like setting date and time, we then can check if the BIOS keeps the changes saved. Otherwise, the CMOS battery or the RTC circuit has an issue, which is the case with this laptop. But probably most of you will ask questions or will wonder what's the purpose of this video. This is a common issue which everyone knows, but that's not the point here. It's not what you think. Let's just follow the video till the end. Close this. So I will plug. So while me plugging the adapter, you keep an eye on the power button. Sorry, that takes time because I don't see the other side. Okay, but I want you to pay attention to the power button. So it auto starts, which means that the BIOS is resetted. So now we will get display after a few reboots, few stupid reboots as we call them. Dell is known for these reboots, so that's why and also some other brands like HP. This is why you usually have to wait for some time after BIOS programming or BIOS resetting to see if there will be display. Some guys are in a hurry, and when display takes more time, they just think that the issue is still there, and they may program the BIOS ship many times without any result. You just have to wait for some time to get display. Here we have display. Let's fetch keyboard, external keyboard. Let's plug it. So time of day, not set, please run setup program. Press F1 key to try boot, press F2 key for setup utility. Let's go to setup. date and time, and mount March 3 22, another 22. Date setted, exit. Let's get in BIOS setup again. That's fine. Still date and time are well, still the date, the time I haven't touched the time, but the date is still fine as I set it. So now let's just power off and disconnect adapter for a while, and the battery is disconnected and the battery is not. Here's the battery, so we don't have the battery on the laptop. You can see here, no battery. Here is the battery place, so no battery. Let's pay attention to the power button. Auto starting, which means that the RTC circuit has an issue, or the CMOS battery is bad, because auto starting means that the BIOS hasn't the savings which we have made on the BIOS hasn't taken the effect. So another time we have to wait for the display, and we have to set the date again. Till now you may wonder what is the issue exactly. Okay, and the issue here is that sometimes, and some guys, some technicians, whenever we have reset of the BIOS and they got display, they just consider the issue is fixed, or the job is done. Why? Because most of technicians consider that 2.8 volt in a CMOS battery should be fine, or is good, and it can still do the job for a while. But in fact it's not true with all the boards. Yes, that may be right for some platforms, but not for others. Like for example this case we got here, the CMOS battery should be changed. So if you are in a hurry, which usually or most of the times happened with technicians, when getting this display and you have a lot of work waiting, you just assemble everything, put the battery, try Windows, you notice that the PC is working fine, then you put the screws, you may even do BIOS update on Windows, and that's fine. You will think that the issue is fixed and that it was just a BIOS issue, which is in fact not true. In this case, in this same case we have here in this video, and the laptop in fact will work fine, because with battery present, once on Windows, the date and time will be automatically set, or even you can do it when you fix the battery, put the battery on the case, you can do it in BIOS settings. and the laptop will keep date and time set because the battery did the job in place of the CMOS battery. And the PC will work just fine, and you can give it to the customer. But for sure, the customer will come back with the same issue. Why? I will tell you why. Let's power off. Let's unplug the adapter. Put it here. So, if you give the laptop, if right now if I have, if I put the battery on the, if the battery was plugged on this laptop, and I assemble everything and put the screws and the BIOS update for the BIOS in Windows, the PC will be fine. But if the customer lets this laptop without any activity for minimum 1 day with empty battery, so with empty battery, if the battery is empty and the adapter is not plugged, and the laptop was not working, which means battery empty, no activity on the PC for a while, a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, month, 2 months, 6 months, it doesn't matter. Minimum night, a whole night with empty battery, the issue will come back. But how can we know, or how can we prevent such thing, or to see if we really have fixed the issue? So to stimulate that this laptop has been without any activity for a while, we just need to press and hold the power button for minimum 30 seconds, like this. So I am pressing and holding the power button. Let's do it for minimum 30 seconds, minimum. This is a job, and I will be paid for this job, and the customer, I don't really wish that the customer comes back in less than a year with the same issue. So to prevent that, I always do this test. So press and hold, pressing the power button for minimum 30 seconds. You may even do it for 5 minutes. Why not? Better to lose 5 minutes with the power button rather than to lose hours and hours in doing a second repair, a second fix freely, third fix freely, fourth fix freely. If the issue is the same and comes back many times within the same year, you will do the job freely, because the customer has his arguments. You haven't fixed nothing, it's the same issue, the same thing happens with me again, so you have to fix it freely for so many times. So now I think that's fine, that we can release the power button now, so we don't have the adapter, and it's so normally the laptop should automatically start, but keep an eye on here. I have plugged the adapter, even if you don't see it, but it's plugged and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Let's press. Nothing. Press again. nothing. Press again, nothing. So the customer now is angry. Same issue, and if it's in the same week, he will be really upset, and you will hear news soon. So to fix this issue, we need one thing. If I have done that from the beginning in this video, because I have done it in my troubleshooting, I have done that. So I know this issue, I have encountered it a lot of times. So I begin with the CMOS battery. When I opened the laptop, before doing any troubleshooting on the board, I have just changed the CMOS battery and press the power button, and the laptop goes on. But even though I have checked the voltages, if they are normal, I have checked the resistances of the all rails, and I have checked with the oscillo the main rails of the CPU and PCH, to avoid any surprise. I don't want the issue to come back in a short time. So we are not going to hard reset the BIOS now. We just need to change the CMOS battery and power on the laptop. That's all. So let's remove this 2.8 volt battery. So it's a black one. Let's use this one. It's a blue one, and let's see together how much voltage it will show. So plus minus 3.014 should work fine. Put back the board. Fine. Put back the fan. I don't want to make any screws because I have to remove the subcover and the motherboard each time. So let's put the subcover here to hold things in place until we test. Okay, now let's fetch the adapter and keep your eyes on the power button. I am going to put the adapter. That's it. And let's plug the keyboard, external keyboard. Let's again wait for these stupid robots. Takes a long time, but we have to wait. So as you have seen, We haven't done hard reset again to the BIOS, and the laptop goes on automatically, which means that the CMOS, the bad battery, the bad CMOS battery prevents the powering of the board when the board is kept without any power for a while, for some time, and as I have said, at least on night. So on night, without adapter plugged and with an empty battery, the customer will get the same issue and will get back to your shop for the same issue, and you will do the job again freely second time. You can't get paid the second time. Let's get in BIOS settings. So as you have seen, we got the same messages, time and date not set. Let's go to date. Let's set just the date, 3/22/22 and another 22, and let's exit. So we just need to exit in Dell settings. We just exit and the things will be saved. So a normal reboot after saving BIOS settings. Let's wait for the next messages that we will get, and then we will stimulate again, stimulate the same thing, stimulate that the laptop is not was kept without any activity for some time. So the board is looking for media to boot from. No boot device found. Let's just power off and plug the adapter, and again let's do the same thing as before with the bad CMOS battery. Let's press the power button and hold it pressing for like minimum 30 seconds. 30 seconds will be fine, but if you want to be sure, you may keep your finger pressing on the power button for 1, 2, 3, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Why not? You have to be sure that your issue is fixed. Okay, let's wait. Meanwhile, I'm going to check something. Okay, I'm just reading something on Discord server. My favorite one, IRS. And sorry for IRS members. I'd like to say sorry for being absent in the server. I was really absent these days, especially in the channels dealing with troubleshooting, like laptops and other channels. But really, I don't have time, even if the server is always opened in a window in front of me, but I can read from time to time, but I can't keep going with cases, so that's why I can't help. If I have to help, I have to scroll up and down to check the case from the beginning, what's wrong, what was asked, what's get the answers and so on, and it's really difficult in the server to scroll up and down. That takes time. So sorry guys, I am really sorry. I really hope I got a lot of time for the server, but that's uh, that's uh, that's it. I don't have time. I have my own server on which I am working, but still not finished it yet, and it needs a lot of time to set things and so on. And it's been more than 20 days I haven't touched my own server. In fact, it's not operational, it's not functional for the moment, so my server is not yet functioning, and it will be a server, the server will deal with BIOS only BIOS issues. Yes, for the other troubleshooting we have ARS, so it will be only BIOS issues and all things related to BIOS. I hope I can finish in a short time so that it can be operational. Anyway, let's hope for the best. I think that should be fine. I have pressed the power button for more than a minute, so let's plunge. So me plunging, you watching the power button. Sorry, maybe. Yes. Pay attention to the power button. Nothing, yeah? So seems good, because if it goes auto starting, then the issue is still there. But let's power. That's it. We have. Let's go to BIOS settings. Let's check the date. Still good. Still exact date. 3/22/22. So that's it. We came to the end of the video, and I would say a thing here, or advise a thing here. Whenever you encounter a CMOS battery having less than 3 volt, 3.0 volt, change it without hesitation. Change it, especially if you find out that the issue is related to BIOS, because here the issue is related, it's not BIOS, but it's related to BIOS. Because why it's related to BIOS? Because whenever we reset, we do hard reset of the RTC circuit on the board, the laptop, the board comes back to life. But like this issue, which you have seen in this video, the only fix is to change the CMOS battery, and you can be sure that the fix is done properly, and you won't see your customer in less than a year for the same issue. That's for sure, unless he tries something in his BIOS settings, or he has an issue with BIOS updating or something like that, which can be fixed in Windows when you fix it again for the second time. You can fetch his activity on the Windows by looking on the recent to see what was done recently on his Windows, and in that doing that you may have an idea about the, and it won't be the same issue. It won't be the same issue because if he has missed with the BIOS, the change in the CMOS battery won't solve the issue. But if you don't change the CMOS battery, the same issue will come back, and you will do the job for free that time, the second time, or even the third, or even the fourth, etc. I hope you have learned, some of you have learned something new, because I am sure that advanced technicians know these things, but there are so many others that don't know, and they just may miss it. Yes, it happens to so many guys here. I have fixed like these issues in laptops which have been in other shops, and the BIOS chip is programmed so many times, and even the area around the BIOS chip looks like burning. It looks like a burning area with, especially most of the technicians use hot air to remove BIOS chip, which I don't advise, especially if the BIOS is near the CPU or PCI, or near something else that can be damaged by heat. So better to use good soldering iron. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and me, as always, I have to take a break, and it will be